Disclaimer: this video gets very profane, with multiple words thrown in that may not be appropriate for all ears. View at your own risk. Hello everyone, it's Aaron again, and welcome back to another video. This is a very long episode, because I'm talking about a man who gives no fucks, no shits, and no goddams. I'm going to be talking about Duke Nukem. Starting out as a 2D platformer on the MS-DOS, Windows, and OS X, Duke Nukem was a series that started out on a prayer and ended up being one of the most beloved games of the 90s. It had everything the casual gamer wanted, with its humor, violence, and good gameplay. The gameplay itself is always entertaining, with just enough challenge to be fun, while also rewarding. The first game released in 1991, and as previously stated, was a 2D platformer, which really surprised me. I thought it had always been a Doom-style 3D game, but that just wasn't the case. I've been wrong before. Plot goes like this, right? In the first game, an evil doctor by the name of Dr. Proton is out here trying to take over the world with his army of robots dubbed Techbots. Real creative there. Basically, it was just another puzzle platformer. Collect the keys to reach the exit and continue through levels, same old stuff. Bit of trivia about this game. There was a bit of legal trouble involving the popular cartoon Captain Planet, because that show had a character on it also named Duke Nukem. The name of the game was temporarily changed to Duke Nukem, with spelling like N-U-K-U-M, which is very interesting to me, before the programmers found out the name from that show wasn't licensed or copyrighted in any way. In the next game, Duke Nukem 2, released in 1993, it's much more the same. Puzzle platforming to find the exit and defeat the boss. However, instead of fighting a mad professor, you fight an evil race known as the Rigaletins. No, that can't be right. Rigaletins? I don't know, some bullshit pronunciation. Anyway, yes, much of the same gameplay elements from the original. But then, in 1996, the world was smacked upside the face with the big motherfucker itself, Duke Nukem 3D. It was revolutionary. Kids were out in the streets going wild over fucking Duke Nukem. There were riots! Not really, but could you imagine? The gameplay was a massive leap from 2D to 3D. Learn to read the title. Wasn't that hard to figure out. The game was humorous, and to my knowledge, is the first video game to use the word fuck uncensored in the script. The gameplay was entertaining, very similar to Doom 3 years earlier. It contained multiple references to sexual humor as well as drug references. It was absolutely amazing, and fans loved Duke Nukem and the humor he provided. But then, the dark hours of gaming were upon them. This next section covers the conception of possibly the worst game ever made for the Xbox 360, Duke Nukem Forever. In 1998, programming director George Broussard, I think that's Broussard. That's a fucking name, dude. George Broussard announced that Duke Nukem was getting another game dubbed Duke Nukem Forever. Fans were hyped and the wait began. And then it got delayed. And they announced it would be finished. And I'm dead serious when I say this. He said it would be finished, quote, when it's done, end quote. That's not a fucking release date. That's an empty promise. That's like asking a homeless guy for money and he says, I'll give you some when I have some. While he is being honest, it's going to be a long time until he gives it to you. For a long time it was. For the next 12 years, Duke Nukem Forever was perpetually announced and delayed, like a piece of shit getting flushed and then coming back up. Oh yeah, I'm getting angry. I'm bringing out the angry video game nerd inside me. It was finally released on June 14th, 2011. And here's where it gets rough. I subjected myself to playing this game for as long as my sanity would let me. Too long didn't read. My sanity let me play it for about 10 minutes before everything just started to drive me nuts. I could not take it. I was baffled. The gameplay is horrible. Holy shit. Oh my... On with it. I'm going off on a tangent. My hard drive, for a total of 3 days, had to share some space with the anal exhaust known as this game. And it only stayed on for 3 days, because on the first day when I played it and tried to get footage, literally... Unfortunately, I can't show you my personal gameplay, because the developers must have known for a fact that this game was absolute dog shit. Quick behind the scenes fact, I record my gameplay straight to a flash drive on my Xbox One, but for this game, capturing is disabled, so I'll have to use stock gameplay from YouTube, credits in the corner of the clip. Dude, the only reason it was on my hard drive for 3 days was straight up just because I forgot to delete it on the day that I finished playing it. Alright? On with this cockamamie doo-doo horse ass. So, the game starts up with Duke taking a piss. I wish I was joking. Maybe it's a metaphor for how the programmers were pissing up a tree with this fucking game. My first complaint is, what the fuck is this? Why is the font such a basic Arial? You may call it nitpicking, but the longer you play it, the more you realize that ain't right. Almost every other game I've ever played has some sort of unique font or texture it uses. This game, nope. Slap on some Arial font and call it a day. It's lazy. What's worse is this game has been in development for 12 years. 12 years, and you couldn't even get a fucking font right. This bodes well for my gameplay experience. The first enemy you fight is a big-ass alien, and it's so easy. I even cranked up the highest difficulty, because I chose masochism that morning, and I still took him out, losing only a small portion of my health. After that, it cuts to Duke playing the game itself, and you know what he says? One of the girls giving him top, yes, that's in the game, asks if the game's any good. He says, and I quote, "After 12 fucking years, it had better be." This is the most sweet and tasty bit of irony I have ever heard in all my 16 years on this earth escape someone's lips. I'll bet you anything, Duke's voice actor busted a nut laughing after he finished recording that. And no, I don't mean busted a gut, I mean he was laughing so hard that he nutted himself. I mean that. Anyway, I'm not going to go too much into the shitty gameplay, mainly because it sucks diarrhea through a shit straw, but also because it's just plain boring. Duke's humor from the original game has lost all its charm, and I really think that that's what the main problem with this game is. Yes, the game's shit. We know that. Yes, the gameplay is monotonous and tedious and fucking terrible. We know that. And the reason Duke's humor worked back then is because it was back then. But now, his humor sounds outdated. The audience grew up, but Duke never did. When you look at it from a bigger picture, it's really rather sad. He was such a phenomenon in the 90s, and to see him fall from grace really sucks. But you know what sucks worse? Fuck. I'm not editing that out. But you know what sucks worse? This game. It sucks so bad that I don't even know if I can come up with a coherent insult. If I tried, I think all that would come out is some incoherent gibberish that not even the NSA could crack. I might even lose the ability to speak. This game is going to drive me over the edge to the point where I'm going to need a straitjacket and a padded room with visiting hours through a bulletproof glass. So I beg of you, if you ever have the opportunity to play Duke Nukem Forever, spare yourself the insanity and torment, and destroy the disc. If you have it digitally, smash your console. This might even be worse than... Oh no. Have I really gotten to that point? I'm gonna show you a screenshot from a game so foul, so ungodly shitty, so absolutely assy. It makes this game look like Halo 3 in comparison. Are you prepared? You're gonna be on screen for a second. Did you catch that? Oh yeah. That massive shit heap. Soon, it will taste my blade. But for now, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. If you liked the video and agreed, leave a like. I expect to see a 100% like ratio on this one. And if you disagreed, what's wrong with you? Get out my fucking video, alright? Or leave a dislike. Either one works. And also don't forget to subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss an upload. But that's all. There's going to be another video out soon discussing Warzone. Not because the game sucks. I actually think it's a pretty good game. But just my personal experience with it. But that's all. Katinka.